it's not just networking, but the power of shared ideas between practitioners in many different fields. That's what's exciting to us. Pix4D, we benefit from that. And I think our users benefit incredibly from sharing these ideas and approaches to using the technology in their different fields.
You're listening to the Drone Radio Show podcast, the show about drones and the people who use them for business, fun, and research. Hosted by Randy Goers.
Hello, everyone. This is Randy Goers, and welcome to the Drone Radio Show podcast, episode 228. Are you interested in learning about 3D mapping and other photogrammetry skills? Then you'll like what today's guests have to say. Christopher Cressy is Regional Managing Director, and Chelsea Cox is Marketing Manager, both at Pix4D. Pix4D is the leader in photogrammetry and drone mapping software for professionals. Its software is widely used in the drone industry for a variety of applications. Earlier this year, the 8-year-old company announced its first conference specifically for Pix4D users to be held in Denver on October 3rd and 4th. In this edition of the Drone Radio Show, Chris and Chelsea talk about Pix4D, the user conference, and why we should consider attending the event. But before we hear from Chris and Chelsea, I want to thank those of you who are supporting my funding campaign. Now you have the option of making a one-time donation in any amount by going to droneradioshow.com/donate. Whether it's $1, $100, or much more, you can help defray the costs of production and keep the podcast going and growing. And if you'd like to make a monthly contribution, you can still go to patreon.com/droneradioshow. So let's learn about the Pix4D user conference with Christopher Cressy and Chelsea Cox. Let's pick up the interview where I asked Chris and Chelsea to introduce themselves.
Hi, Randy. This is Christopher Cressy. I'm the Regional Director for Pix4D for North America.
And my name is Chelsea Cox. I am the Marketing Manager for North America for Pix4D.
For those that may not be familiar, tell us about Pix4D and what it does.
Pix4D is the world's leading software company for drone photogrammetry. And if you know what photogrammetry is, that's basically creating maps, 2D and 3D models from imagery. So the drone industry is really taken off with photogrammetry. It's an unbelievable tool set for engineers and practitioners in many different fields to do engineering work that typically would be done with other mechanisms like traditional surveying methods in the past, or much more involved with satellite imagery or manned aircraft. So Pix4D is founded 8 years ago in Switzerland, and we've now selling products worldwide. Our flagship product is the Pix4D Mapper software, which is the leading drone photogrammetry software package in the world.
Was it developed specifically for drone applications?
Well, it's really amazing. I think the product was envisioned initially just from the technology, a new way of doing photogrammetry. Structure from motion was the algorithm, and it's created 8 years ago. And it was kind of fortuitous that it happened. This technology was developed at about the same time as the drone industry took off, and drones became a tool that could produce the imagery required to make this technology go. So we very quickly shifted our focus to photogrammetry for the drone industry. And that's really been a remarkable transformation. I'd say our initial focus was on traditional surveyors and civil engineers, people that were using traditional surveying and photogrammetric tools. And since then, though, it's just blossomed into use in so many different fields, and many of which that we had never even considered. So, traditional fields may be like transportation, construction, public works, but also environmental, mining, energy, insurance, even law enforcement, humanitarian aid. It's almost an endless set of use cases that we're finding in different industries.
The main reason for our conversation is to talk about the Pix4D user conference that will be held this fall in Denver. Now, there are a lot of drone-related conferences out there. People have a lot to choose from. Why should the Pix4D user conference be on our radar?
The reason that we are really suggesting this conference to not only Pix4D users, but also people that are interested in learning more about the drone industry and photogrammetry and imaging software is that it's really an affordable first conference that you can go to. It's in Denver, in the heart of Denver, and it's about $500 for a full 2 days, including all your meals and a nice networking event. It's really a great opportunity for people to get together that are already users or looking to become users of Pix4D. It's really supposed to be an inspirational event. It's supposed to be sharing projects between users. As Chris mentioned earlier, we have tons of user stories that our users have created using our software that we haven't even thought of at corporate. So we've really latched on to our users' experiences and using their applications to create better tools and future products. So this is just a great conglomeration of those user stories, the users, the product teams, and then also our CEO and our staff members are excited to be a part of it as well.
Is this the first time for a conference like this?
Yes, so this is our first inaugural user conference. We're excited to have it in, one of the GIS capitals of the country of Colorado. And we're hoping to have a large amount of people that are excited to come back next year and, make it even bigger. But yes, this is our inaugural edition.
Is there a story behind why Pix4D decided to do its first conference?
There's no specific story. We've been looking into doing it for the last couple of years. A lot of our partners and similar products out there have user conferences that, we've been parts of, and we've really been excited to be big enough now to be able to feel that we're appropriate enough to invite people to come to one of our user conferences.
What are the objectives of the conference? What do you hope comes out of it?
So a lot of it is getting people, like I said, together into this melting pot and, idea think tank where they can share their own projects. We're having tons of users on stage for presentations. We're still taking speaker applications for that, actually. You can get on stage. You get about a half an hour to explain your project, why it's exciting, how it's different. And those are the kind of stories that we really just feed off of, because as we're going to be announcing some product launches at our conference, these have actually come from combinations of user applications from products that weren't actually, necessarily meant for what they were using them for, but they, worked a way around it and used them for certain things. And we're like, okay, that's a great idea. Let's get back into the coding and figure out how to make this available to everybody who's not able to mesh these together on their own. So the reason we're having it is really just to get everyone in a room and share their user stories and learn about some exciting product launches, really exciting. And then, of course, some networking and just some fun together as well.
Yeah, Randy, I would say one of the most satisfying things about our product and the company, what we're doing, is that we created a general purpose tool, and many of the uses for the product are things we never considered or thought about, or in fact were led by the users of Pix4D. And we have thousands of users now around the world. So this is a chance for them to get together, share their experience, share their ideas and their understanding and their knowledge of how the tools can be used to solve different problems. I think that's really the most exciting thing about the product is the versatility and robustness of it for so many different applications.
When is the conference?
The dates are October 2nd and 3rd, and it is 2 full days. The first day, we serve breakfast and lunch both days, and the first day we have a fun networking and entertaining dinner at the venue. And we also are offering discounts in the nearby hotel, downtown Denver, Sheridan.
From the description of the conference, it sounds like it's a mixture of experts who will teach something about photogrammetry and users that will share their experience. Is that a good way to describe it?
Yeah, exactly. We have a keynote speaker, Chris Anderson, CEO of 3DR, who's founded the company, is one of the luminaries in the drone industry. We have other speakers and presenters that are leaders in their areas from industry and government. And so you'll have that. You'll have Pix4D presenters from the different products and technology centers in Pix4D. We'll have about 20 people visiting from our European offices and headquarters in Switzerland. And then we're expecting up to 500 users and many presenters from the user community in each of their individual fields.
How is the conference organized?
So it's going to be pretty standard. It's going to be sessions in the morning and then, lunch break sessions in the afternoon. And those sessions there's going to be 2 options, at least 2 options per session. So we have different floors of the Civic Center that we'll be on. And those will be optional of, what interests you.
Other than what's in the conference tracks, are there opportunities for users to get some sort of certification or in-depth training on a specific skill set?
Yes, we'll be doing what we call paid Pix4D workshops before and after the conference. So the 2 days before, we'll have a Pix4D Essentials workshop. And then afterwards, we'll have a special training that we call, Chelsea, help me with this.
So on Friday, it's a more advanced one-day workshop called Ray Cloud Editing Tips and Tricks. And that's for either current users or ones that have already taken the Essentials workshop that are looking to really fine-tune their processing options.
And our workshops are something we've done around the world. We actually have if you go to Pix4D/training, you'll see workshops being held in literally around the world. Typically the 2-day Pix4D Essentials workshop, we offer the training on basically the fundamentals of how to use Pix4D for photogrammetry. And associated with that is a Pix4D fundamental certification that students generally take and become certified after the class.
Who is the user that you feel would be most interested in attending this conference?
It's hard to say that there's a single user because we have so many fields. I think the core users of Pix4D have been the surveyors and engineers in civil engineering and those kind of fields, transportation, construction, and so forth. However, a real power of this is that you're going to see applications and uses of our product that have been applied in so many different fields in ways that you may not have considered. And I think that cross-pollination of ideas between the different users is really going to be fantastic. We have practitioners using drones for many different things in many different fields now. And that's really, I think, what's going to be exciting about this, that, learning from the different types of practitioners in the different fields is just going to be something that everyone benefits from.
One of the benefits of a conference like this is the ability to network and to meet others in the field. Can you talk about the networking opportunities that will be available at this conference?
We're going to have a formal networking event on Wednesday evening of the conference. So that will be the main chance to interact with your peers. I'd say, we have some really exciting sponsors and keynote speakers. Sensefly, FLIR, and Wingtruff are our key sponsors for the event. We'll have participants from many different fields that will be presenting. And we anticipate, a lot of informal networking opportunities throughout the 2 day of classes and sessions. So I think basically it's the lunches, the Wednesday evening networking event, and then just informal networking between sessions.
What about the venue where the conference will be held? Is there anything special about it that you'd like to share?
So the event venue, we were really excited to find, it's called McNichols Civic Center Building. It's right near Civic Center Park, so it's right in the heart of Denver. It is actually usually used as an art building. So during our event, there will be art on the walls that we can also browse. It's a historic building. It has huge columns on the outside and is definitely a staple of Denver. It has 3 large floors and a huge sort of amphitheater-like entrance outdoors. So we'll be utilizing almost every square foot of that building to get a really nice spread out and easy to mingle location. So it's on a beautiful park, like I said, Civic Center Park. So breaks and lunch will be easy for people to walk around, or even downtown Denver is in the heart of it. So we chose this because we wanted something that was, different. There's a lot of conference centers out there, a lot of hotels, of course, and we wanted to really get our first conference really on the map. And in order to do that, we thought we could, do something a little more creative and find something with a little more personality. So we are actually now operating an office in Denver as well. And that was the reason we chose this area as well.
Now, you mentioned that Chris Anderson of 3DR will be a keynote speaker. Who else do you have on the slate so far?
So yes, Chris Anderson, we're excited that he agreed to be our keynote. Of course, our CEO and founder, Christoph Strecke, will also be largely prominent within the speaking. We have about 12 speakers lined up right now that are our featured speakers. Like Chris was mentioning earlier, they range in industries from, public safety to construction to civil engineering to scientists. And we're really excited. I would say a couple I could name. So Greg Kretzinger, he's actually a former Pix4D employee and now the founder of a very successful academic consulting company. He has been considered a subject matter expert in a lot of things drone throughout the years, and he is excited to present some of his more successful and interesting projects.
One of the most interesting, I think, speakers we'll have is Bill Ingres, who's a senior investigator with the NTSB, National Transportation Safety Board. And Bill was one of the leaders in that field to use Pix4D for accident reconstruction for anything from trains, planes, and automobile crashes. So he's been one of the leading technologists using our product in this new field. I think that's one of the most fascinating ones. Paul Aiken from Drone U, who's been a strong advocate of Pix4D and been teaching drone pilots for many years now, has another podcast, interestingly enough, that we've done with him, and is a strong proponent of using drones for photogrammetry and other applications.
What question do you get most from prospective attendees?
Some people have asked us if there's any preparation or homework or things they need to bring to the event. And the answer to that is no. You can, of course, bring your laptop to share your projects, but it won't be needed to attend any of the sessions or interact with any of the presenters. Food and drinks are included for both days, so you don't need to bring a sack lunch. And there will be Wi-Fi available and also rooms available if you need to step aside and do some work during the day.
Will there be any drone flying demonstrations or anything like that?
Well, we won't be doing any flying. Denver has a prohibition on flying in the city area, so one of the challenges, but we'll have plenty of software demonstrations and demonstration of results, which is generally a more efficient way to do things, at least for our drone photogrammetry. The flying, of course, is exciting to do, and there's many other conferences for that, but we'll focus on kind of the workflow and producing the type of results that are used in many different fields.
If someone asks why they should attend the Pix4D user conference, what would you say?
The first thing I think of when I think of this conference is really to get inspired by other Pix4D users and enthusiasts. 2 days talking about what people are really passionate about. That's something that's exciting and not just, another work conference, but it's something that people really feel passionate about. And this is an example of sometime you can get together with those people in a great location with good food and good entertainment. And you can really map the future together of what Pix4D and photogrammetry is really doing in the industry.
Yeah, I'd amplify on that. I think Chelsea's spot on. It's not just networking, but the power of shared ideas between practitioners in many different fields. That's what's exciting to us. Pix4D, we benefit from that. And I think our users benefit incredibly from sharing these ideas and approaches to using the technology in their different fields.
And as we close the show, Chris and Chelsea, can you share with us one more time the things we need to know about registering for the Pix4D user conference?
The user conference is on Wednesday, October 2nd and Thursday, October 3rd. We do have 2-day essentials training Monday and Tuesday before, and a advanced ray cloud editing class on Friday. More information, you can buy tickets at conference.pix4d.com. And again, it's in Denver, Colorado, and we are excited for you to be a part of it.
That's it for episode 228 of the Drone Radio Show. I hope you enjoyed hearing from Christopher Cressy and Chelsea Cox of Pix4D. I want to thank both for taking the time to speak with me. If you want to learn more about the Pix4D user conference, check out the webpage at conference.pix4d.com. If you want more information on Pix4D, its products, or want to connect with Chris or Chelsea, go to pix4d.com. If you like the Drone Radio Show, please consider supporting the podcast with a small donation. The content is always free, but for as little as $1, you can help defray the cost of production. To donate, go to droneradioshow.com/donate or patreon.com/droneradioshow. And thanks for listening. Your support means a lot to me, and I hope you'll listen to more episodes of the Drone Radio Show podcast to hear how others are using drones for business, fun, and research. For the Drone Radio Show, I'm Randy Goers.
This has been the Drone Radio Show podcast. More information on today's show can be found on our website at www.droneradioshow.com. If you're using drone technology for business, fun, or research and would like to share your experience on the show, please visit our website and fill out a guest appearance application. And don't forget to follow us on your favorite social media channels.